We're going to go over keywords, variations, LSI terms, and entities. So, like the exact keyword myth, how Google really understands a page, and the vocabulary that actually wins. We got all of this data from searching the top 10 biggest cities in Texas. So, how often do you use the exact keyword? Barely, and the winners vary widely. There's no magic count. So, ranking pages use the exact phrase only a handful of times in the body. So, stop counting your keyword, start covering the topic with everything below. Below is like, what are LSI keywords and entities really? So, a super simple version, the LSI keywords and entities sound confusing, but what you really need to consider is that have a conversation. Let's say you're having a conversation with a customer, right? And you're maybe a customer's not that good. Maybe you're talking to another flooring contractor, okay? And you're describing providing your service of installing flooring, right? So when you go to have that conversation, there are going to be words that you normally wouldn't use in a normal conversation. There are going to be words that are related to what you're currently talking about. So, as an example, nails, wood, hardwood, right? Ceramic tile, ceramic. That's just an example of a couple words that are normally going to go around the topic of installing flooring. And so, whenever you hear LSI keywords, that's what you should really think about, right? Even right here. So, hardwood, tile, subfloor, insulation, warranty, estimates, right? These are all the terms that would go in a conversation when talking about the topic. And that's just what LSI keywords are in the most simplistic form. There's nothing crazy that needs to be done. That's just what they are. Now, for entities, entities are usually just the nouns, the things related to the topic. That's really all this jargon means. And so, like, something that you can do is you can go and search your term, and when you go to search your term, what you'll see is when you go to read the pages that are currently ranking, and this is why I harp on this so much, is to just go and search, see what's like currently ranking, because it's going to tell you a lot more than having these really complex like math ideas of like LSI keywords and entities. You're just going to go and look at these pages, and you're going to see, oh yeah, they're using words that are relational to what flooring is, like just a conversation about flooring. Now, if you like a little bit of math and it gets a little complicated, you can also think about it this way: is that what what Google's doing, and you can't verify that Google's doing like these the eat or these li keywords or entities, right? You can't single out that you can't do a scientific test to single that out and guarantee that that's what's happening. We can only just see what's currently ranking and assume, right? But what Google is doing is that it's measuring the distance between words and the relevant words to those words to come out with an equation or to come out with an idea of what the page is actually about. And so that's why I'd rather explain it simply is that all of this is really just when you go to talk about a topic, what words would you normally use around that topic? So, why it matters is that how Google understands, Google doesn't read like we do, right? It figures out a topic from which words commonly appear together, kind of similar to how I just explained it, and how close they sit. That's how it understands a page. So use all of the words that naturally go with flooring, and Google gets confident your page is about flooring, It kind of just makes sense, just talk about flooring because you're a flooring contractor.